What is going on, guys? My name is Matt, and this is going to be going through what the best calendar setup for online fitness coaches is in 2025. Now, I've worked with literally hundreds of coaches, and seeing the setup that they have and what different variations they run at the current time is actually really valuable information for people who are, running an online coaching business and just want to improve, or relatively fresh to the game, or a bit of a vet who is looking to change things up. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to break this down in a little workflow here so that we can visualize it together and go through the different options. And I'm going to show you how to set up both. So the first thing that you want to think about when it comes to calendars is lead flow. So if you have adequate lead flow, so I'm talking, in the tens every week, not in the 1 to 2s, this is going to be more impactful for you. If you're 1 to 2 a week, that kind of number, you probably shouldn't be focusing on optimizing your calendar. You should be focusing on getting more leads in the door. But if you're in the 10s, 30s, 40s, 50s even, this is something that you should be definitely looking at, because you want to be optimizing as much as you can. So the first thing that we're going to be making sure we've got checked off is lead flow. So these are little prerequisites. So lead flow, and I would say that you already need a system, some kind of system, some kind of booking system, right? And if you've got that, so when I say some kind of booking system, I mean you have a process where people come through, you speak to them, you get them scheduled, and then you move them into a calendar slot, and then they show up to the call. And you've been doing that for a while. But let's break it down. So there's two major ways that you can do this. So 1 and 2. The first one is, let me just put this in here. First one is running a direct booking. And what that is just like a Calendly, right? So this is just just directly to Calendly. Now, some people can do this, and it's not always a bad idea to run directly to Calendly. The people who I see succeed the most with this are the ones who have a lot of credibility in the industry or have been doing this for a very long time, and people are just keen to speak to them. They already know that they have a problem. Their audience is very problem aware, and they're just ready to jump straight in. And all you really need is on a landing page, you either have a VSL or whatever it is, and it goes straight to a booking link, Calendly or Go High Level. I'm just going to edit this to be /GHL calendar, and you can go straight to it. That then often leads to a booking. So let's just put a booking here, and then obviously there's kind of two options from here. So there could be a closed deal or another option that I'm going to talk through in a second. So you just go from there. So direct booking, Calendly, good to go. Now, if you're not someone who has a bunch of authority in the field, or you're really trying to get as many leads through the door as possible, you might go with a form first. So form, and then once they submit the form, they are then sent to a booking page. And the key difference between this one here and this one here is if you capture their email and their phone number on the form, but don't make them commit to scheduling a call at the same time, this is a less friction approach to actually getting people booked in. So this here gets them to do the hard part, but you will lose people in this stage here. So they've submitted the form, but they don't book in, and you still have the opportunity to call those people, right? So if you are looking for more volume, this is your better option than this. If you're looking for better quality, this is your best option. So direct booking. Now, the real thing that I wanted to talk about is actually what happens after the booking. So I'm just going to copy this. Oops, still getting used to this one. Put this here. And what actually happens after the booking. So a lot of coaches think that every call that they get on is a sales call, which, it's not entirely wrong, but it's not also the truth. So a lot of coaches will just run one booking, one call, and it'll be this one here. So they will just try and sell here. Now, seal. The biggest problem that I see with this is it doesn't actually give the person time to build up confidence with you, especially if they've come across you on social media. They've been like forming their opinion of you by watching all your content, watching your ads, whatever it might be, but they're still uneasy about you. They've never actually spoken to you one-on-one. So the coaches that I'm seeing who are succeeding the most are adding in a two call close. So what the 2 call close is, so this first booking is a 15-minute triage. And what this is just a really quick get to know you. And this here is a 60 or like a 30 to 60 minute deep dive call. And this is your real sales call, right? What this gives you is in the booking triage, it allows you to say, okay, cool. Do you have the financial means? Do you have the determination? Are you ready to fix this issue? Do you have any like thing that will impede your ability to commit to the next 12 weeks or 8 weeks, whatever? And if they pretty much give you like 3 green lights, so like 3 ticks, then they get booked into here. And you do this kind of manually so that the client doesn't have to do it. And it is going to increase your show up rate to these sales calls dramatically. Obviously, this part here is getting the hardest part to get them to show up to is this 15-minute triage. But the good part about 15 minutes, it's really low commitment on their end. And once you start getting that commitment and they start saying yes to things, so this they actually show up to the booking call, they confirm their attendance, whatever, they're more likely to show up to this one here, right? So if you are running this, it also becomes a little bit like a doctor, right? So here is where they're telling you their pain point. You go away in this time, you formulate a plan, right? A specific plan. And then in here, you describe the solution. So you give them the antidote, you give them the medicine in here, right? And when you are pushing back on the first call, it drops people's guard. So I definitely think that this 2-call setup is really beneficial. Once you've figured out this part, so the direct booking or the form, usually it's this process. This is what my clients who are running this are having the most success right now. And the biggest thing with this one, this triage call, because it's not, it doesn't have to be you taking the call. So if you're a coach who's got like a notable following, you can employ a setter or like a triage consultant who can take these calls for you, meaning that you can free up your time to spend more time on the people that matter, which are these ones. So if you can do that, you start to offload and build a system around this that isn't just like tech-based, but you have people in here. It becomes really high leverage. And what this gives you is also an opportunity to test out having a salesperson in placement of you. Because one of the biggest objections that I hear coaches say is that, when people book a call, they want it to be with me. I say, sure, but also at the same time, if you want to help as many people as possible, you can't possibly take all the calls and do it all yourself, which most people tend to understand. So let's talk about building it out. And just quickly before I do that, the other alternative is just having one call. So you can this one, right? So you go booking page and they show up to this 60-minute deep dive, which works. Like I used to do that as a coach. And you can do it, but unless you're really good at sales, you're going to have a higher close rate doing this one first. Sweet. So I'm going to show you in Go High Level how you can build this out and the kind of process of having this. I'm really going to focus on this part here, so the booking and the 30-minute deep dive call, so that you can kind of see how someone would set it up. So I've got an example account here. And the first thing that we're going to need to do is be able to manage these 2 bookings, because they are not just like the same. You're not booking them on the same calendar. You need to approach them in two different ways. Now, this is a standard pipeline that I've used in an example video. However, we've only got one book call spot. So what we're going to do is edit this and update the booked call 15 minutes. And then we're going to add in another funnel stage, which I'm going to just click and move up here, which is the most annoying thing in the world. So booked call 60 minutes. We're going to save that. Now what's going to happen here in our pipeline, we then have 2 stages for bookings. So booked call 15 minutes and booked call 60 minutes. Now, obviously we only want 15-minute calls to go in here and 60-minute calls go in here. So we need to go into calendars and make sure we have two different calendars to facilitate what we're looking to do. So the first one that I'm going to do is the 15-minute coaching. I'm just going to edit this calendar that I have here, and I'm going to just say 15 minutes. You can call this whatever you like. And in here, it's really smart in the description on this 15-minute call to say something along the lines of like, leave your credit card at home. I don't sell to people on the first date. On the first date, right? So something along those lines, just saying, bring your authentic self. Don't worry about being sold to. We are literally not going to talk about it on this first call. Sweet. So the second one that we're going to do is literally just a clone of this one. Actually, I didn't change this to 15 minutes. Let's just do that really quickly. So in availability, meeting interval, I'm going to change that to 15 minutes. So just a quick, this one here reflects the time between booking slots. We'll show in the calendar. For a 30-minute event, it should be available at the top of each hour. But for us, because we're doing 15 minutes, we would prefer it to show up on the 15-minute interval. And our meeting duration is 15 minutes. I'd probably leave the rest open, especially if you want to gather as many leads as possible. And once we have done that, I'm just going to go back into calendars. So close up the top here. And then I'm just going to duplicate this one for argument's sake. And we're just going to change it to 60 minutes. And make sure we just edit our availability in here as well. So I'm going to just make this 30, and then let's change this to 60. And we should be good to go once we have that in place. So now what's going to happen is we close this out. When you have your, let's just share this and open this up. When you have your form page, so when people actually come onto your business, you want them redirected to book a call with your 15-minute calendar, right? So we are looking at this one here. This is our 15-minute calendar. So this is what they should see when they jump on and schedule a call with you. They select the time, they fill in their details, and they're good to go, right? After this, they should probably be redirected to some form of case study, and they'll be able to review the information about your call. So once they have booked in, we want them actually to go in the 15-minute slot. So if we go automation, I should already have a workflow in here that is about booking calls. So booking made, here we go. I'm just going to make sure that this information is all up to date. So customer booked appointment in Fernando, 15-minute, and book call 15 minutes, just because I updated the pipeline is why the information is in there. However, you got to think about this from a sales point of view. So once you're on the call, say for example, we've got ads Matt in 15-minute call. The person is, whoever's taking the triage call, whether it's you or whether it's the setter, is taking that call. They're like, all right, cool, Matt, super excited for you to speak to Matt, who's the coach. We think you're a good fit for the program. You're going to need to be able to schedule them in to the new calendar. Now, if you were just to bring this up and say, okay, is 10:30 good? Is 11 o'clock good? This is just kind of clunky. You can use this, but you don't really want to. I would just have the setter or yourself with the opportunity open, and you would find the contact. So you've got the contact here. We've got ads Matt. Now what we want to do is open up the actual contact. That's what I was doing. So in here, we go book and update appointment. So what we can do is we can select the 60-minute coaching, and you should have this ready to go. Like when the person says, I'm excited to speak to the next person, you should say, cool, I've got May 10:30 available or 11:30 available. And it's just super easy for you to set this up. And you're going to say it's going to be a Google Meet, blah, 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 right? So when you have that ready to go and you press book appointment, when we want, what we want to happen here is for this person to automatically be moved to this booked call 60 minutes. Now, we don't have that automation set up, so I'm going to show you how to do it. One thing that you might get caught up on if we create a workflow here when it comes to appointment booking is there's actually two different triggers that can run appointment bookings. So appointment status changed, meaning the event type is normal, that's fine, but appointment status is confirmed or new or cancelled or no-showed. If you just did confirmed, it's going to select all of your appointments that are all calendars. So it would encompass the 15 and the 30, 60-minute, appointments. But if you click on add filter and you select in calendar, 60 minutes, now it's only going to do new appointments that are at this calendar. So we just want to make sure we're not getting tripped up by that. But the other one that I was talking about was customer booked appointment. So there's two different things. So there's appointment status confirmed and customer booked appointment. This workflow will only run when this is filled out, not the way that I just showed you, setting it up like manually. So always use the appointment status changed, unless you're specifically tracking if it was an internal or an external person who booked a call. And all we need to do here is update opportunity. So this one here, and in pipeline sales, we want to put them in booked call 60 minutes, save action and save. And that's literally it. So I hope this video was insightful. I think that when it comes to calendars, people just slap up a calendar and hope for the best. However, it's actually one of the biggest interactions that someone has with you in your business. And it really does set the tone for how you feel approached as a client. And I think it should be treated with that kind of respect. So if you guys are looking for more information on how to automate your fitness business, you can join my school group. I have a free course on how to do the whole thing. There's also some like-minded people in there as well. It's not the most active community. However, it's pretty focused on fitness automation. So if this interests you, feel free to jump in. You can send me a message in there as well. So I'll speak to you guys soon and have a good day.